Kadosh, Boker Or, Masechet Bava Kamma Daf Memvav Amud Aleph 46a. We are starting Perek Hamishi, the 5th chapter. Okay, we're starting the new Perek. Says the Mishnah, Shor Shenagach et Para. Imagine right now you have a shor tam that gores a para which is pregnant, meuberet. Venimsa ubara betzida, and all of a sudden you find that the fetus is dead beside the para. Ve'en yadua imad shelo nircha yalda or min shenircha yalda. Now you don't know if it gored and then it killed the baby, and therefore obviously the baby's dead beside it, or before it gored, the baby already came out and it died, and I guess it was a miscarriage type of a stillborn type of a thing, and therefore we don't know what's going on. So mishalem hetzi nezek la para. Since it's a tam, it has to pay hetzi nezek for the para. Ve'ravia nezek lavlad, and you have to pay a quarter of the nezek, right, to the vlad for the value of the vlad. Why? Because basically what happens is that since we have a doubt whether he was the one that actually killed the baby or not, so since if maximum he would have had to pay was chetzi nezek, so now that since it's like half, we're not sure, so they're going to divide, right, the damage. So therefore it becomes a quarter. Makes sense? Half of the half is a quarter. Okay? Fine. Next. V'chen para shenacha et ashor. The same halacha applies when a para comes and gores a shor. Then in vlada betzida, and you find the vlad right beside it. Ve'en yadua, now we don't know, im ad shelo narcha yalda, if right now until it did not gore, it actually gave birth, or mi shenarcha yalda, or when it already did come and gore, right, did it give birth? Mishtalem hesi nezek mina para. You're going to have to pay chetzi nezek from the para, urvia nezek mina vlad, and a quarter of the nezek from the vlad. Okay? Fine. So everyone here clear until here. Here we have the para that's nagchat ashor, right? And the exact same thing. We don't know what happened. So again, chetzi nezek mina para, ravia nezek, right, from the goof of the vlad. Okay? So now we're obviously going to say, right, what's going on. Okay? Fine. Until here we're clear. Fine. The egel. Okay, fine. Says the Gemara. Amar Rav Yehuda Mashmuel. Says Rav Yehuda Mashmuel. Zo. This Mishnah is Divrei Sumchus. Is the words of Sumchus. Te'amar mamon mutal mesafek cholkin. According to Sumchus, whenever you have a doubt about money, you always split the money. Divide it. You split it. Come on. That's it. You made peace. Shalom al Yisrael. Right? We have a machloket. Me and my good friend over here, John Doe. So what happens? Cholkin. Divide the money. That's it. That's the words of Sumchus. However, though, aval hachamim omerim, but hachamim come and they say, ze kelal gadol badin. This is a general rule in judgment. Hamosi mehavero alav araya. You want to take money from somebody. You bring the proof. The onus is on you to bring the proof that whether the person is chayav or not. So therefore, if you're in a doubt, and everyone's in a doubt, you don't have to pay a penny. Why would you have to pay? So for obviously our Mishnah is going according to Sumchus and not according to Hachamim. So says the Gemara, 1 second. Why do the Chachamim say, Lama linemeima ze klal gadol badin? Why do the rabbis say this is a klal gadol badin? Badin. What's going on here? Yeah? So says the Gemara, itzrich. You needed to say it's a klal gadol. Dafilu nizak omer barili. V'mazik omer shema. Incredible yesod. Here you have that the nizak, the one that got damaged, says, "I know for a fact that your whatever it was, shore came and gored my para and so on and so forth." So right, and the mazik says, "I don't know, maybe." The mazik says maybe shema, right? One is sure and one is not sure. Now who's sure? The nizak, the one that got damaged. Still, even in that case, says the rabbis, it's not just enough that you know. Bring a proof. All right. Bring a proof. Yeah, bring a proof.
The valuation is only on the valid, right?
Says the Gemara, yeah, Inami, if you want, I could give you another concept. Why do we have to say Klal Gadol Badin? The first reason why we said Klal Gadol Badin was because of Bari Veshema, correct? Which means that the Nizak was Bari and the Mazik was Shema, and still we say Amotzi B'Chavelo V'Raya. Another thing, Inami, Lechi Hadi Itman Amocher Shor Lechavero. Imagine right now I sell you a shore, and it was a Nachan. So now, by this shore being a gur, the only thing that you could do with it is shechita. You're not going to leave it around. It's a menace to society. You're going to have to be watching over it. Hey, you became an eved to the shore. You're going to have to be watching over it every single moment to make sure it doesn't. Huh? Yeah, he's a nachan. Nachan means it's a gore. Meaning that it has a tendency to gore. So for you, it's like Iowa. Like I thought I was going to get something. And now I have to be watching over this animal. No, not nature of the shore. No, to go. No. That's why there's such a concept of the Tamim one, 100%. Yeah? So what happens? Rav says, it's a mistake. Give it back. Right? Shmuel says, no, sorry. So he could have told him, no, I sold it to you for shechita. So I sold it for you for shechita. That's it. Yeah? So says the Gemara, Amai, now why? He comes and he says, why don't we just see if it's going to be a person, right? The Zavin Leradia. The Zavin Leradia means, right, that does he actually buy for Harisha or Yigavra the Zavin Nichsita? Or is it a person that he's buying for Nechasim, like for plowing and all those other things? Meaning, why don't we just see what's the purpose of the person buying it? Imagine right now you're a guy that you always start coming and you buy it, right, for Shchita. So if you buy it for shchita, so fine. So I could say I sold it to you for shchita. But if you're a guy that you always buy it to plow your fields, I'm going to come and I'm going to say, no, I sold it to you for shchita. You say, oh, what is shchita now? You think I need meat? If I need meat, I go to the butcher. I don't need meat to buy a shore from you. So what are we dealing with? The Gavra, the Zavila, he buys both. The guy buys both. So since he buys both, I can't bring a proof from what does he usually buy. But he buys both. Fine. So says the Gemara, says there's a difference in price. When you buy a shore for shchita, it's obviously going to be a lower value than a shore that's going to be done for work. So check the price. The price talks. Yeah? So he answers, what are we dealing with? That it went up the price of meat, and it's already at the price of ridia. You know what ridia is? Of the plowing. Meaning it went up in price. So say it went up price. You can't bring me a proof from the price. Okay? Fine. Next, Ammi. They said in the yeshiva. Okay? If we're talking about a case now where he does not have money to pay. So for example, let's say, right, he does not have the money to pay back. So if so, he should take the shore with his chov. Yeah? Because people, that means imagine right now, we're talking about a case now where the mocher does not have money to pay the lokeach, the purchaser. So in such a case, even if we're going to say that the mekach is batel and he has to give back the money, he should still take it back as his loan. The amre inche was people say, mimarera shvatach, from the bal chov, parei para. Right? Even from subin, take it back. What does that mean? Meaning somebody owes you money, you should try to take as well, whatever you can. Don't start being picky that I want dafka the green bills. You understand? Whatever, if somebody owes you money, make sure you collect. Yeah? So why does Rav come and he say the mekach is batel, which is mashma that the lokach is machzir to shore, and then he takes money? Why does he has no money? Right? So then you take anything. You take it back. You just take it. So lotzricha, what are we dealing with? No, obviously he had money. So obviously you're going to give back the shore and try to take the money. That's what you're going to try to do. Okay? Fine. Rav says, so remember, we said that it's a mekach ta'ut if you bought a shore and then afterwards it happened to be a nachan, it's a mekach ta'ut, it's a mistake. So ask the Gemara, zil bataruba. Why don't we go after the majority? The majority of people, they buy ox for plowing. So Shmuel is going to tell you, for the zil bataruba, we don't go after rov. When do we go after rov? Beisur and isur. Aval b'mamona lo zil bataruba. Money we don't go after rov. Meaning like this, we do not go after the majority in money. By Yisurim, we go up to the majority. Is this probably mutar? Is it asur? Is it this? Is it that? Fine. Then we go up to majority, but not in this. Here you're not going to go after the majority. Okay? Fine. So says the Gemara, yeah, and it now says as follows. Tani mihachi, we learned in the Braita, shor shenegachet para v'nimtzai bara betzida. Imagine right now you have a shore that he gores a para. Remember, the para is mu'beret. It's pregnant. Nimtzai bara betzida, which is our Mishnah. When you do, we don't know. Imagine lo nercha yalta, mishin nercha yalda. Shalom, what do we say in our Mishnah? Shalom chetzi nezek lapara v'ravia nezek lavlad. Divre sumchu. So therefore it comes out that our Mishnah, we started the Gemara by saying that our Mishnah is going according to Sumchus. And really, according to Rabbanan, a Braita mefurash exactly like that. Tanya Nyamiyachi, we learned exactly like that in a Braita. That the first one that says the exact same words as our Mishnah is Divrei Sumchus. However, though, Hachamim omenim, hamosi mechavero alav haraya. Okay? So exactly like the way that we said it. Clear? So Amar Shmuel ben Nachmani says Shmuel ben Nachmani, how do you know that there's such a concept that if you want to take some money out of somebody else, the one that's taking the money from his friend, he has to bring the proof. How do you know such a concept? Shneimar says in a pasuk, right? When Moshe Rabbeinu came up to Mount Sinai, when we went up to Sinai, it says "V'lezekinim amar shevulanu zeh ad Hashem v'vinaro v'chuli mechem mi ba'al devarim yigash alehem." What does that mean? Right? We're talking about Parashat Yitro. Yeah? So he comes and he says, right? Mi ba'al devarim yigash alehem, which means mi sheyeh bizman, right? Hederos shel Moshe, which is ba'al devarim, which is the tovea, the one that's actually being tovea something, he's asking for something. Yeah, right? He has to yagish raya lehem. He's the one, then he's basically, right? He's the one that's saying that he has to bring a proof, right, to his words. So we're actually bringing like a remez, if you want to say, okay, from the pasuk, that basically if you're the one that you're asking for something from your friend, it's incumbent upon you to bring the proof. Okay? Okay. Matkif la Ravashi, Ravashi comes and he asks the following question: Halama likra? Why do you need a pasuk? Why do you need a pasuk? Yeah, svarahu. It's a svara. Why? Tekayvli keiva azile beasya. I don't understand. If it hurts you something, who's going to go to the doctor? You're going to go to the doctor, right? So same thing. If you want Dayanim to come and to help you to take money out of somebody else, so you have to go. You have to bring the proof. Oh, you're just going to start claiming the things. Imagine I'm going to go. John Doe owes me money, and this guy owes me money, and this one. Oh, I don't have to bring proof. You have to bring proof that you don't owe me money. Just imagine. Take out money like that? Obviously not. So says, you're right. Elakra, rather the pasuk is like Rav Nachman Amar Ravua, right? Like Rav Nachman Amar Ravua. The Amar Rav Nachman Ravua, minayin she'en nizkakin ela latovea techila. He says, how do we know that even if the nitba has tanot negdiot, right? How do we know that the tovea chayav lo mamon, right? Acher keneged hamamon shetovea mimenu. How do we know that it only goes according to the Tana of the Tovea? Which means like this. Imagine right now, right? You come and you ask me for money. But I'm asking you for money as well. Meaning the exact same amount that you're coming and you're asking me, I'm asking from you. How do we know that it all has to do, right, with the Tovea? How do we know that the Tovea is the one that he's like the prosecutor? It's meaning that he's the one, we're first judging on that. He's the one, that means you're going to judge it first, which means like this. Imagine I come to court, yeah, and I come and I say, listen, yeah, David's very busy over there, so he owes me money. Yeah, he owes me money. Fine. I could say very easily, he owes me money. Now I'm going to say he owes me money, and I'm going to say what happens is, right, I'm going to come and I'm going to say, fine, he owes me money, but David comes, turns around, and he says, yeah, but I owe him money also. And you know what? It's the exact same amount. The exact same amount. Now we're already in the Bedin. What happens? What happens is, before even they listen to David, they first judge my case. The first one, yeah. Because I was the one that was Tovea. I'm the one that's taking him to court. So therefore, they're first going to judge my case. After they finish my case, now they can flip it. But before then, they're not. They're not going to come and start saying, you know what, let's try to fight. No. They have to first finish the first case. And by the way, they do this also. In secular court. Right? First I come and I sue you. And then afterwards, you want to count the sue, but it's not in the same court case. We're going to do everything together. No. First, when you finish, now you can count the sue. You understand? But before that, we don't talk about it. So the same thing. Yeah, you got that, David? He's very busy. Yeah? So he comes and he says, Amri Narda. So Narda, he comes and they say, but do you know that it does happen that once in a while, we'll go after the nitba first, and we'll pay attention to what he says first. Now, what's the case? In a case where the nichse nitba went down. So therefore, they're going to come and they have to actually find out, right? Right? So here it says, for example, in a case where Shimon comes and he says that he has a mashkon, he's got a collateral in the hands of Reuven. Okay? He's got a collateral in the hands of Reuven. And all of a sudden, they want to buy it in a higher price. Now, if at the beginning they're going to come and they're going to do the judgment of the hands of Reuven, and only afterwards to the Tanot, so therefore they're going to go, and then he's going to have to sell it for a cheaper price. So therefore, Shimon wants to first they should come and they should do the counter offer, basically the counter suit, because maybe he's going to be obligated to come and to give it back, and therefore he's going to lose money. So in such a case, they first listen to the nitba. Okay, clear? Yeah, makes sense. No, fine. Next. V'chen para, 2 dots. The Gemara said, the Mishnah said, v'chen para shenichad shor. The same halacha applies to a para that gores the shore, right? So he comes and he says now like this. He says, chatzi nezek, right? V'revia nezek, palga niskahud ba'eshlumi. He says, 1 second, I don't understand you. He comes and he says, if you're going to tell me now you have to pay chatzi nezek and then reva nezek, he says, but I thought that you only have to pay chatzi nezek, no more than that. So why does he have to pay like nezek shalem minus a quarter? What's going on then? Like, what's the case exactly? So he comes and he says this. Amar Abaye says, chetzi nezek is echad marba'a nezek. When you're going to come and you're going to pay chetzi nezek from the para, it means a quarter of the nezek, which is half, right, of the nizak of what he's actually coming and he's doing it. Urevia nezek, now the quarter of the nezek of the goof of blood is going to be 1/8 of the nezek. And therefore, it actually comes out that tzachakol, you're only paying 3/8 of the nezek. You're not actually paying more than that. Meaning, we had a havamina that you're actually going to take from the body of the para 3/4 nezek. That doesn't make sense. We always said that you only take maximum half, not 3/4. So we went and we said, no. The pshat is that the nizak is going to goveh chetzi nezek, which that in essence is really behemet a quarter of the nezek. Right, because that's all what it damaged. And then when it talks about the vlad, it's only a quarter of that, so it's 1/8. So therefore, if you're going to tell me now 1/4, so 1/4 is 2/8, and then 1/8, so it's 3/8. So that's what you're collecting. You're collecting 3/8. So now the Gemara is going to explain. Now if the para and the vlad, they belong to the same person. He could tell the bala para mimanavshach. Chetzi nezek, you have to give me chetzi nezek, right? You have to give me chetzi nezek, right? Why? He comes and he says, because since your behemoth, they damaged my shore, so you have to pay chetzi nezek. But what are we talking about? The para dechad uvlad dechad. The para belonged to one person, and the vlad belonged to another person. And therefore, since they belong to 2 different people, right? It was 2 completely different, right? Halachot. Okay, fine. Now, if right now the nizak comes and he's getting the bala para first, so he could tell the bala para, right? Your para damaged me. Bring me a proof that you have a shutaf. Meaning, if you have a shutaf, bring me a proof, and then your shutaf will pay part of it. But if not, I'm sorry, your animal damage. That's it. There's nothing what to do. But rather, he went and he was trying to be tovea the balavlad first. The Elmaleh, that he could tell right now, come and tell the Bala Para, you could tell the Nizak, Gali Tadatcha, the Shutfa Yitli, you already showed that I have a Shutaf. Because the fact that you went running after the other guy, that means you already understood that there's another guy with me. So therefore, you cannot take from me the half of the Nezek. You could only take from me a quarter of the Nezek. There are those that say, even if he could, if he does come and he demands the money from the Bala Para at the beginning, you could push him off and say, he says, at the end of the day, you already know that I have a shutaf. Why? Because you know that it was mu'beret. So the fact that you knew that my para was a mu'beret, obviously it had a partner, and the partner was the Vlad. So therefore, go collect from there. So Rabbi says, where does it say anywhere about 1/4, 1/8? Whoever told you that? We told in the Mishnah a half a nezek and a quarter of the nezek. That's it. What's going on? What's a quarter, 1/8, one this? Whoever told you that? But rather Rabbi says, really, they belong to the same person. And this is what we meant to say. If right now the para has the value, so you pay the chetzi nezek from the para. But if the para is not here, so therefore mishtalem revia nezek mivlad. So therefore you can only take a reva nezek from the child, and that's what we're actually coming. We're saying.